Yes, folks, how are we going? Just a quick harvest here. I thought it was the last of the summer harvest. Well, about a week ago, because the weather turned really nasty, and I was looking around the plants and I pretty much walked away from it because we've been doing a lot of other things, obviously with the close down of the retail store, so I haven't been doing a lot of gardening. But I came out today to do some and start planting some of my autumn varieties, and lo and behold, is that the right expression? Lo and behold, this is what happened. Now I've got to eat it all. Oh, what a bad thing that is, isn't it? So, you know, at the end of the day, your veggie garden, if your microclimate's right, you should be able to still harvest. And in all honesty, they're still pumping it out for me. They're looking pretty average, the plants themselves, the Moluccas, that is, but there's plenty up there hanging, a lot of green ones. I've got a couple of real big ones as well. We're not going to weigh them now, but when we do harvest our biggest ones, we're going to weigh those, and then we're going to announce the winner of the big Molucca competition. I know we've got one guy there with a 2.7, but we did announce something about that. But nevertheless, this ain't the topic. This is just to show another quick harvest. And look, I haven't harvested everything. There's a lot of leafy green spring onions, kale, silver beet, bok choy, and some more zucchinis over there. Anyway, come along. I'll show you what I was planting today. I was just doing a quick tidy up here as well. I staked up all the capsicums so they can stay straight because they were getting heavy and they were falling over. But have a look up here. Cucumbers had another resurgence, another burst of life. Now I've got to cut these leaves off. That's what I haven't been doing, cutting these leaves off. That mildew that's on there will just keep spreading all the way to the top. Nice and healthy up there because it's nice and warm, and it's not an enclosed, a complete enclosure. So we're getting something out of this. We've got a few cucumbers. There's one growing here. Have a look at that beauty. There's a little one there. So we're in April and we're still picking. Anyway, clean up time. And if you remember, the sheep, man, the sheep who came in here destroyed the garden, made a mess of it. Don't look at that side. That hasn't been dealt with. Here they ate everything to the ground. They ate the corn to the ground, and look at this. Right out of season, yeah, it's kicking on again. So I'm just going to let it go and see what happens with the corn. But what I have planted here is purple and your typical green cabbage. Now I've got my seedlings growing on, but these are, and if I can just show you, now I planted this cabbage earlier on, the purple and the green, I said that already. These are the plugs. We spoke about these once upon a time when we had the retail store in COVID. We were selling these, and I'm thinking about releasing these again down here in Lethbridge. If you do want them, and we've got to have a demand for them because I'm not going to grow all these or have them grown and nobody comes and gets them, we can't ship them out. But these are the plugs that are super, super successful in growing in this garden bed here, or any garden bed, in fact, not just this garden bed, as far as, you know, by comparison to your typical seedlings that you get in a punnet. Now, nothing's better than growing your own seeds. We've said that before. So if you can grow your own seeds, by all means, go that way. And we have got our seed range online as well, heirloom open pollinators. But otherwise, if you want to get some seedlings and you're interested and you like to travel out to Lethbridge, we'll make a note of that and see if we can bring them in for you. Actually, we do still have, these are the ones that are available at the moment. So if you're doing a click and collect, well, pop out here and ask for some of these plugs as well. Now, once you finish planting, and once I finish planting, I always top dress them. Now, this is our planting mix, and I'm only putting a little bit of our superfood and black grit around them. Doesn't need a lot. You don't want these jumping out of the ground and bolting. Not that they will do that with this stuff, because this should be a balanced nutrient fertilizer for them. And as far as the size is concerned, well, I've got 20 acres and I squish them in to this little space here. You know, these are going to grow really big, I know that, but we'll pick the outer leaves as they grow so they don't crap up themselves. Superfood and black grit, it's a complete fertilizer, folks, for all plant type. And you put about 2 handfuls per square metre, or you can just sprinkle a little bit as I am around each plant, like that. And then give them a good soak. And remember, when you soak it, this needs to be mulch, by the way, but when you do soak it, don't try and water it all in the one go. Wet it a little bit like I'm doing here. Let it penetrate through, then stop for a little bit, then come back to the first ones and soak them again, because you'll be surprised how little the water actually penetrates. And we did a little test a while ago on how far down the water gets. And a bed like this, a square metre, per square metre, I think it was about 10 litres we were talking about, around there. So I think we did about 30 litres where we planted the broad beans in about 2.5, 3 square metres. That's to get a deep watering, folks, not just on a surface. And this is what I mean. Look at this. I haven't given it 30 litres yet here or 10 litres in this bed. Look, it's dry. It's dry underneath. So when you think you're soaking, think again. And when I say 30 litres or 10 litres per square metre, you probably have to dig the ground and see if it is actually soaking in, because in this case here, it still hasn't soaked in. Well, I think I've only given it about 5 litres, and it's about wetting the entire area. Do not just water the plant, whether it's a seedling, vegetable, flowering plant, or an evergreen. Don't just soak around the root zone. Wet everywhere. Hydrate the entire garden bed, because what happens, like now today, we had 19 degrees, and when the sun came out, it felt like 29 degrees. So what happens there is the soil heats up, and you need the heat, but if it's a dry bed, whatever hydration you've put around the plant will dehydrate a lot quicker because the surrounding soil is dehydrated, it's dry. So soak it deep, and a good deep soaking is better than a light soaking every day. So spend a bit more time giving it a deep soak, and you can avoid watering every day or every second day, in fact, depending on the cycle of the weather. And if it rains, what a bloody blessing that one is, eh? You can miss out on a complete cycle of water too. So soak your plants really deep. And remember, if you don't feed them, you're going to flush out the nutrients. So top dress them with our superfood and black grit. And that way they get the vital nutrients they need. You feed the microbial activity in the soil that you're trying to activate and keep it healthy and strong. So plant your veggies, folks, your autumn veggies, all your leafy greens, and I'm putting some yellow beetroot. Have you ever seen that? There's plenty of those out in the farmers markets. Get yourself some into the garden. They're really great and they taste delicious. So we're planting some beetroot in here as well with our red ones or purple ones, and top dress them as well. All the wonderful fertilisers and products that we have, folks, is available on our website, also at your local garden centres. So if you haven't got a store near you that's stocking our range, get them to give us a call or give us the details, and we'll give them a call to make sure that we get the products closer to your home. Or otherwise, you can shop online or even pop down to Lethbridge and do a click and collect and get yourself some plugs as well. Vasili'sGarden.com for everything you need every day. From me, Vasili, Maresi.